We are live.
All right, there we go.
Oh, it's about time. What a delay tonight. Delay.
We don't know what's going on with this.
No, we don't.
But we know what's going on with this.
Whatever. Hey, they're there? Are we there? Are they there?
We're here.
Blast
Amen.
off.
My gosh.
Cheers to you guys.
Wow.
Cheers.
Dude, it seems like it's been forever, but it hasn't. Simple diversion. Hey, how you doing? Tom's been around for a minute. We've been chatting with him. He's already hit the bar. Oh, man.
And we don't blame him. We hit our bar, too.
Yes, and Tom, just so everybody knows, we have pre-poured. It's been sitting here for a minute.
And we poured something else to keep us occupied while we're thinking about that one.
Little wolf burn.
Yeah. And I got to tell you that I'm thinking about that one.
I know. I'm thinking about that one too. But we also have something going on up front, and we'll get into what's going on there.
Drew's working technical stuff, but
obviously it's Scotch 3 dummies tonight. Sometimes it's 5 dummies, sometimes it's
Done.
Every once in a while it's 6 or 7.
Right. Andrew's out of town tonight. He couldn't make it, so it's just the 3 of us. That's why all 3 behind the bar. What do we got going on?
We didn't want Drew getting lonely back here. Plus, what we really wanted was to be closer to all the Scotch.
Right.
Normally, that's how they cut us off.
So, here's to that, right?
So we're drinking, boys.
Tonight, right now, we got
some Wolfburn.
Yeah, some Wolfburn
Nice.
Northland. It's their first expression, that lightly peated Northland expression.
You know what I like about that? Everything.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
It's Scotch.
And this one is the one that they peated with the Lefroy casks, quarter casks. Right. So this isn't a traditionally peated. It's not peated in a traditional manner, but
It's kind of through it. I got that.
It's got a little hint. It's not over the top.
The nose is nothing like the palate, though.
Not really. I'm anxious to try the other one. We have what's the other one called?
Melvin, something like that.
Sure.
I don't know.
Who said?
Morvin.
It
was one of those vowels. What the hell?
Close.
Oh, jeez. So, anyway, it's good to see everybody coming on. We really don't have an agenda tonight, so I'm kind of afraid that the wheels are going to fall off really quick, but we'll
That's
try
what
to
I'm
keep
angling
it.
for.
It never happens, right?
Hey, Scott, how you doing tonight?
Well, quick shout out to some people. Some Go Habs on, Tom R is on, Simple Diversion, you mentioned that earlier. Andrew's on, Bob H is on. Who else, guys?
Eric
Waite's on there.
Yeah, it's good to see everybody. It's been a long week. We actually had something that happened between our last live and this live. We kind of disappeared to.
Hey, Telex, glad you could make it.
Yeah, we were wondering where you were at, Telex. We disappeared down to Reelfoot and tried to get some fishing in for 2 days, and ended up, suffering the cold like we always do. I don't know what that lake. It's just
how many fish did you guys catch?
3.
But we caught a buzz.
Oh my gosh.
A bunch of buzz.
We killed a couple cases of beer. We slaughtered that Deanston Virgin Oak, and then we tore into the Old Pulteney 12, and played a lot of poker.
We did play a lot of poker. We sang some tunes. You put the guitar, I put the keyboard. We had a good time. Our place, one of the big reasons why we booked this place was because last year we went.
Yeah.
And we had a great time. We found this local pub. It was kind of different. We were like, oh gosh, we walk in and we had a blast there. So, Stump Jumpers, I'll give the name out. We were thinking we're going to have a good time.
It's the kind of place you might get in a fight.
You might get in a fight there. There's a roadhouse type.
But it's got karaoke, and we were really looking
forward. It's got character. It's fun. Yeah, and so we had a great time last year. And of course, it was closed both nights we were there. So, you know what? It's okay. We had a great time. We drank, we sang, we fished, we froze our asses off, but we had a good time.
And while these guys were gone, I went live with Mike.
You
figured it all out by myself.
Absolute shock to me. I mean, the fact that I saw you guys on the camera, like, Sean really did it. I mean, he did it.
I pay good enough attention to figure all this out. Every once in a while, although I have to say that I didn't get the mic plugged in, so there's always something. But now Drew's got this whole rig. I can't even forget that.
Yeah, so the fish weren't that big. Actually, they were a decent-sized crappie. We did catch 3 nice crappie, but the fishing was just tough because the lake was so, it was, 20-mile-an-hour winds, and, you're in a flat-bottom boat fighting. Ugh. At one point in time, Drew, we had lost our prop, and we were getting towed, and I looked back, and Drew just gives me this dead stare and says, I don't like this.
It was pretty damn scary because I had waders on and everything else. I'm thinking to myself, if we flip, I'm going down.
Yeah, you're going to sink like a rock because you're going to... So he's got everything unzipped. He's like ready to just jump out of what he's wearing. And I'm like, dude, if that happens, you ain't going to make it 15 minutes anyway. It's cold.
First of all, the lake you guys are in, you probably just could have stood out.
This is true.
That's a good point.
You just walk across it. You gotta be bold about it. So we got some people on. We got some comments flying.
Oh,
there was something about some...
that stupid iPad's going to go out and I'm not going to be able to read now. I need like a little toucher
I'll
thing.
take care of it in a minute.
Drew's all over the technical difficulties there.
So
somebody's having Deanston 20 though. I did see that earlier.
Ooh, that's good stuff.
Talking about the burnt toast, Drew.
Burnt toast.
Burnt toast.
Hold on, let me get on here.
So last comment, I'll pull it up on my phone since the iPad went out. The last comment, someone had asked about who won the poker. Andrew was the only one who did not win in poker, so he owes all of us some money. I want to make sure everyone knows that.
We heard.
You know who won? This guy.
Oh, man. Anyone else try the Glengoyne 15 cask strength? No,
Not the cask strength.
Where did I hear that?
But I would try it like right now if I had some.
Yes, I would.
For one thing, my glass is empty. What's next?
Okay.
I love to see that everybody agrees with the burnt toast comment about the Deanston 20. So now at least the folks that didn't get your T-shirt before, they
now
get
they
your
do?
T-shirt now. Right, it makes sense. Everybody gets it.
Because it is burnt toast.
Yeah,
And I'm with you. I got like a hint of it on that Mortlock.
Yeah.
But this one was totally...
Interestingly enough, when I went to the liquor store before our fishing trip, I went to grab. I was looking for a bottle of OP12. I mean, it's under $40. You can't beat the maltiness in it, right? It's a great bottle to take fishing. And I found it in the liquor store, and they had a Deanston Virgin Oak. It's an NAS, and it was $39.99. I'm like, you know what the heck? We need a second bottle to go with this OP. Let's just grab it. And so I grabbed it, and we killed it. We got to get a bottle. I'll go down there and get another bottle and bring it up here and review it because it's under $40, so it's definitely an affordable bottle for anybody to pick up. And we smashed it. It's really a strong hint of honey, but we smashed the heck out of it just drinking out of the bottle. I mean, you're in a boat, right?
I can... Every fishing trip we've ever been on, there's a reason why we don't record videos from the fishing trip.
Yeah, we did go live twice. We were gonna go live the third time, but the stump jumpers wasn't open, so it didn't happen. But we had a good trip. It was fun. We missed you, and definitely everybody knew it.
Was not the same without you, buddy.
No, it wasn't. But we've got something else in the works already. I think we're gonna go and try to plan another trip in July. So we'll see what happens with that. But let's catch up on some of these comments and talk about what's going on in front of me.
Is it time?
And then maybe get into this Glengoyne 21. So we've pre-poured this 21, I don't know, 20 minutes ago?
Yeah, probably about.
It was a good 10, 15 minutes before the show started.
It was a glass and a half ago.
Yeah, with you, that's like no telling.
About 12 minutes.
But everyone has said, you needed to pre-pour it, and we don't really typically do that on our reviews because we don't have the time. And we haven't done it for 3 years, so we just trying to stay consistent. So it's almost time to get in this. I'm anxious to see what happens to it over this 20 minutes. To me, I love this glass, but I love the 25 too, right? And so I think this was a better value.
Yes.
But if I had the extra scratch and I didn't care, I'd be drinking that 25 all the day.
That 25 is exceptional.
25 is really, really good. And so is a teapot.
But
A teapot was incredible.
Yeah.
I will have a bottle of that.
You think?
At some point, we're gonna go to the distillery.
All right.
We'll just get it there.
I like the way you think.
Then we'll sit in the parking lot and finish that one and go back in and get another one.
So Andrew's got a great question.
All right.
So, Dummies, are you finding as you progress through the whiskey journey, your expectations/ratings have changed considerably over time?
I don't necessarily think that, and I'll tell you why. Because we went back and reviewed.
Molly's barking.
Molly's not happy.
Yeah,
She's mad at something.
that's weird.
It is weird.
We went back and reviewed Talisker Distiller's Edition. Right?
That's right. I was
of our 100th review.
Yeah, it was that was our first review.
That's
we
after.
We did not look at the
Nope.
review at all. We had no idea.
Nope. And I think our score was pretty much
close.
Exactly what it was
Pretty darn
initially.
close.
So I would say after 100 reviews, and not really tasting that Scotch since then, we came back to it with fresh palates, with completely different, view on Scotch, I think, at that point, and still gave it a consistent rating. So, I think that, I don't think that my expectations for Scotch have changed, but I think I've educated myself enough that I kind of know what to expect before I get into a glass, if that makes sense. So, I do think there are times when I have perhaps a preconceived notion based on price point or where a Scotch was made or just its general, how people kind of view it. And then I'll taste it and, I do try and give everything a fair shake. But I think there are times I go in with a preconceived notion, and there are times I've been surprised by a Scotch.
Well, you're more educated now. We kind of have better expectations of what Scotch is probably going to get to. We are surprised. I think there's a lot of surprises out there still.
And or disappointed.
And are disappointed at the same time. But I think, I think we appreciate it more than we used to, and so that's kind of helping us have more of a level set.
Yes.
I think on both sides of the equation. I mean, honestly, we've been around the block, and we've all found our own niches, our own wheelhouses, if you will, right? Our own little bit sweet spots and things that we really like, and that's changed over time. I honestly feel like I've been all over the whole dang island, I started off in that sherry bomb and loved the Spades and started introducing these Highlands, and then what was this Campbelltown, get down there, and then all of a sudden, I never thought that I would like the Islas, and now, I couldn't get off of that little island, and now I think I'm starting to find myself coming. It's just, it is a journey. I don't know.
It is a journey though, because it's like, I think it's hard to say, but I think everyone has kind of their own wheelhouse, like you mentioned, but it's a journey because it changes. Like I obviously was on the sweet spay when we first began, and then I rolled into Islys eventually, which I appreciated them. And I think a lot of it is understanding what goes into it and appreciating it. That really does also kind of weigh into what your journey is going towards. But now I'm back on the sweet side again. I like Islys. I appreciate them. I love them.
Right.
I'm going to enjoy some of this, but I'm back on the sweet side again. So I think things change as you go through.
It's true.
Who has cracked me up about the whole thing has been Andrew.
The most, I agree.
And only because, he likes those big smoky Scotches,
he likes the smoke bomb.
But I love it when we get something sweet that he can appreciate. And the first thing he says is, "This is my wheelhouse." And then he goes on to describe how delicious this Scotch is and how it's everything that he loves about Scotch. And it's like, well, that might be your wheelhouse too. So, I don't know. I don't think that we judge anything harshly.
Hey, Richie.
I think we're pretty fair and balanced when it comes down to it.
And I'll be the first one to say I don't get it right every time. I don't know if there's a right or a wrong.
No,
obviously.
there's not.
It's
it's personal preference, and it is what it is.
But I don't get it right all the time, every time for myself. Honestly, I'll score something on a review and I'll stand by it, and then we come on Thursday night and I taste a drink of it, and I'm like, man, I really undercut this. Man, I'm really enjoying this now. I'm such a mood drinker. Honestly, it comes down to, what did I have to eat today? What happened to me? What the weather was like? What kind of mood am I in? Depends on what kind of Scotch I want. And maybe that's not the Scotch that we're reviewing that day. Yeah. So it's not fair to that Scotch, but it is what it is. It's life. That's what happens. So it's because
sometimes you pour the wrong glass.
Absolutely. That doesn't mean I'm not going to kill it.
No, it just goes back to show you that we get some reviewers on our channel right now talking. We review. Obviously, there's hundreds of the people out there doing bourbons and everything else. But at the end of the day, there is no perfect answer. It's just what do you like about this flavor in Scotch? What hits your wheelhouse, if I quote right?
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
There is no perfect answer for anything. Either you like the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or you don't, right?
So I think to finally answer the question, I guess we've gotten better about picking what Scotch goes with what mood.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a very good point. Yes.
Yeah.
So this is brown sugar and cinnamon tonight.
Have you started it?
Look who you're talking
You're
to.
such a... I don't know why I'm wearing the t-shirt that says Scotch for, because Sean is really trying to take that title. This guy's killing me.
Here's the thing.
Hey, Jason.
If there's 2 people left up finishing the bottle, it's probably you and me. And,
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Hey, hey.
I didn't say you didn't
alright.
drink your share. You just went to bed.
I go to bed.
That's true.
I tap out.
Yeah. So I still have this in here, but that doesn't mean I'm not willing to put it aside and actually break into this Glengoyne. So let's talk about this Glengoyne.
Nice point, Tom. Nice point.
This Glengoyne, honestly,
Are we drinking that now?
yeah, I mean, I want to back it all the way up to the first time I was introduced. What are we?
That's an awesome comment.
It is awesome.
What? What are you talking about?
Bourbon's just like sherry. It exists to make the casks.
We need to get that on a t-shirt.
That's a
That's
good
what I'm
t-shirt,
talking
Tom.
about.
Next time I see you, Tom, you better have that on the shirt.
That is awesome. I want to back up. So we back up to Glengoyne introduction, right? The first bottle that we had was a 10, I think. And I don't remember who bought it, how it got to this bar. But I can remember Chad ended up bringing another Glengoyne over. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was the silver can, I think, which I...
Oh, that's right. It was known as the orange one.
He brought the orange one, and then somebody else brought the silver.
Okay.
Somehow, so those were our first 2 introductions. And I got to be honest, it didn't wow me at all. I was
They
just
were
like,
okay.
I was like, okay, Glengoyne's just
Right
another
back.
one of those distilleries, right? You know, they're making Scotch, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to grab this the next time in the liquor store. And then we start getting introduced to Glengoyne, right? And what they can really do and the stuff that they're really putting out. And you know, Roy sends us some samples, you know, the teapot dram.
Yeah.
And we get into that 25, 20. And I'm like, okay, they're capable of producing some very top quality Scotch. Some stuff that just blows your mind, right? I mean, look at the color of it. It just looks like some sweet tea, man, or, you know.
It does look like sweet tea. It's funny.
And I'll tell you what, it's everything you would think of in a sherry bomb, right?
Yeah, I love the nose on it. The smell of it just makes you enticed. You just, you know, you want to close your eyes and just think of all things that smell like that.
Everyone, we did like the LP12. I mean, that's actually one of the
Yeah.
surprises we had last
OP12?
year. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Deanston, you're talking about the is
That Virgin Oak, yeah.
I thought it was okay. We need to review it. It wasn't like anything special, to be honest.
I thought it was really heavy on the honey flavor.
Mhm.
But for an NAS,
We'll see how you
that's
like it
under
when you're
40
not out on a
bucks.
freezing cold lake.
Yeah, that's very much true.
$40 as for an NAS, I'm not bad. But I picked it up because we had just gotten into this whole Deanston trip. You know, everybody's talking Deanston, and we just did the Deanston 20, and it was a great bottle. So
Yeah.
it was sitting in front of me. It was $40. I grabbed it. But we'll review it.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah, let's finish what we got going on here.
So this has been sitting for about
Half hour
minutes?
now?
Yeah, I'd say close to 30 minutes.
Yep. And you know what? It really hasn't changed that much,
No,
to be honest with you. It's fairly closed still as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I don't pick up anything different from the first time.
I'm tempted to just set it down and go have another glass of something else
I
and come
don't
back in
know.
a little bit.
To me,
It's
man.
more sherry, maybe.
Yeah.
I said bubble gum. That's kind of the
You know,
sherry thing.
I think the problem that I have with some of the sherry bombs is that it's so much. A lot of times those scotches are just closed off, and you just can't get to all the
Yeah.
flavors. You know what I mean? You put a little water on it, and it starts to open up, but it changes the flavor profile a little too much, and I don't know.
Look at how oily it is. Look at
I mean,
that.
I feel like and it's a great glass, but I feel like I'm just glancing over the top of this
You know,
scotch.
I don't remember. I know we said it in the review, but I don't remember what we gave for this bottle. Do you? You picked this up in Chicago at Benny's. With
170.
Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, 170 sound right,
160,
Tom? Something
170.
like that?
165, 170, I think.
Yeah. That's
You know,
what it was.
I think it's a good scotch. It's not like wowing me. You know.
I haven't even tasted it yet. I've just been nosing it.
Wow. Well, I'm going to set mine down and have another glass of something else and come back to it in 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the same.
I think it really needs to sit more. It still feels pretty closed. Are you going
Yeah.
to drink it?
No, because the nose is just absolutely wonderful.
The nose is amazing. That's why I feel like I'm missing something on the palate, to be honest with you.
Comments here, get through here.
Yeah, so... And I'll agree with you on that, Scott. He says Glengoyne's good, but generally lighter sherry than Glendronach. Yeah, so I don't think it's going to have the bomb, the punch in the nose that like the Glendronach revival, but it's definitely there.
How does the Glengoyne compare to the Glendronach? Glendronach 15 is beautiful, but I can't find it anymore.
Which Glendronach?
Which Glengoyne? 21? And the Glendronach 15, I'm assuming the revival.
I don't know what you guys talking about.
I think
it's absolutely delicious.
I didn't say it wasn't good. I'm saying it's still closed off as far as my palate goes tonight.
I just want to chew my tongue. That's money. That's good stuff.
Hey, Santa, what's up, bud?
That's why you have the shirt right there.
Man.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have a little something else while
I don't need it. I mean, I'm gonna let it sit there for a little bit longer, and maybe it needs a drop on it. I don't even remember what's the ABV on that guy.
That makes me sad.
I'm 46.
Oh,
it's good. It's good, but it's not like
43.
It's just a sherry. I don't know. I'm wanting more. I'm not getting it personally. Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I'm gonna do a little of this while I'm letting that air out a little bit.
Glengoyne is an understated brilliance, says Richie.
And I have to agree. I honestly, that is definitely a distillery that I am going to visit the next time I go to Scotland. There's no doubt in my mind we are going to make a stop at Glengoyne.
Here's my thought on some of these sherry bombs. So I think that some of them, and I'd be curious to see if it has something to do with the caskings, but bananas. But there are some that just. This one reminds me a little bit of the Glendronach 15.
Yeah,
I mean,
but it's just not as strong. Not as heavy on the sherry.
It just feels like I'm missing something. Like my palate just can't quite get to it. I don't know. And it's beautiful on the nose. Like I could sniff it all day. But I don't know if it's just closed off. So I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit.
Yeah, because I hate to put water on it. It's 43.
No, I'm not gonna put water on it.
Everyone said he had the Glengoyne 10 and will not buy it again. That's what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, and
we don't remember it being anything special. It's been.
Oh, Tom said that bottle's in the kill zone.
What's that mean?
That means it's low enough we gotta kill it. Speaking of which, Drew, why don't you talk to us about these 3 bottles we got sitting here?
I thought.
Well, I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to.
Why don't you do it?
We're going to put a poll up in a minute, and you guys are going to pick the bottle we're going to drink tonight.
So the 3 bottles that we have in front of us are all in the, as Tom would say, kill zone.
This bottle is approaching kill zone as well.
Right. So what we have here is Long Row 18, brought home from Cadenheads in Edinburgh by Drew. This is the SMWS bottle I brought home from the SMWS in Edinburgh, the Leith location. It is 36.132. It is a Ben Rinnes 16-year-old cask strength. And then this is an exclusive malt, so a CWC exclusive malts 8-year-old Isla. Now when we bought this at Vine and Table, it was pretty much said with a wink and a nod that it's Lefroy Lagavulin, and I can't even remember now. It's been a while.
I'm pretty sure it's Lefroy.
It's an absolutely delicious strain. So it's an 8-year-old. Good stuff. Anyway, these are all 3 in the kill zone, and somehow, some way, you're putting a poll
It's already out, yeah. So Nightbot, basically, he takes over my poll suggestion, and so he put a link out there. So all you gotta do is click the link, and it will send you to a little quick page. You vote, and then we'll see the results here in a second, and we'll...
Wow. And then we'll drink all 3.
We'll drink all 3 anyway.
And then we'll pour that one out and we'll talk about it.
What you should have done was like a matchup. Like, Sean's going to have...
Yeah, Sean drinks this one. We'll have 3 polls. So I poured the 18 because obviously this is...
What, the Glenfiddich 18?
Yeah, it's one of my favorites, right? And I wanted to see what it compared to against the 21. I mean, they're different, but I wanted to see. It's one of my favorites. So
what's up?
Telex remembers it was Lagavulin 8 cask strength. That's what's in this. It's 57.1.
And you know what?
It's delicious.
Let's smell this. Smell that.
What's going on there? What's going on back there?
Pretty good.
Well, that's Glenmurray, isn't it? Mm-hmm. I can't even smell it.
Smell those differences between those two.
I think you're doing it wrong.
Well, that sounds soft.
It is soft.
This is the Fiddick?
That's the 18, yeah.
So much lighter to me.
Wow. Longrow is smashing it, but
And
SWS is not far behind.
are you going to call this out like it's a horse race?
Woo, we got 75% so
And
far.
they're out of the
Longrow, we got
gates.
25% SWS, 0 for the CWC. Oh, that's
Man,
funny.
these 3 bottles are going down like they're in a John Wick film.
Who's taller to kill?
You're dying to say.
Headshots.
That's what's queued up next up. So the movie after the show tonight is John Wick 2, if you're all curious and want to watch along.
It's either that or Shaun of the Dead, because I'm kind of feeling zombies too. And that one's just funny.
I don't know.
I like goofballs killing zombies.
I like John Wick headshotting people.
We can do both. You're not
So-
working tomorrow, right?
I am not. I got a lot of stuff to do around the house, but I am not working tomorrow. So,
Chicken
Richie
wings.
Z is on, and I've got to ask this guy, what do
Oh, it's
you
neck and
do
neck
for
right
a
there.
living,
It
Richie?
is.
Because you are drinking some fine scotch every night. I mean, every day on Scotch Addict Facebook, I see you with a fine dram, and I'm thinking to myself, I want to do what he does.
You know who else has a nice collection? Is Bob. Did you see that picture he sent
us?
us?
A picture of that was about
Yeah.
half his
Did
collection.
you ask for the other side?
I
Yes.
did. I said shit because he made a comment that there's some good stuff hidden in the back, and I'm like, well, it's time for you
It's
to
time
tell
for
me
that
what's in
shot.
the back.
All right, we're gonna give another minute or two for the voting to stop here and see what happens. So far, it's getting closer, but Longrow's in the lead. So I
Yep,
I
there's
have a
only
feeling
been
it's
6
going
of
down.
you vote, so if you guys, which one we're gonna kill, you guys make a comment, and that's
Triple
what's
Cap,
going down.
I can tell you right now, when this one came home, here's what happened. We opened this thing up, and we wish we would have bought a second bottle.
Absolutely. Yep.
It's really, really
Yeah, because it's gone now, and as a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure they have another one out, but it's a different cask. It's a sister or a brother. Because I remember talking to Dennis about it, and he said it's
that
not
thing's
the same.
57.1%.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah. Brings
Yeah.
the thunder.
Because I remember Dennis said, he goes, they have the new one out, and he said it's not Cask 1603. He's like, it's good, but it's not Cask 1603, which that's what this bottle is. And it just was phenomenal.
It was
is
one of the
phenomenal.
few, well, I wouldn't say one of the few, but it was one of those times when you wish you would have brought like 2 or 3 bottles.
Well, and it's one of those opportunities where you felt good about buying an IB. Right?
Oh,
you,
yeah.
you know, you took a swing, you listened to somebody's recommendation, you got a pretty good clue as to what you like, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to give this a shot. And it's an independent bottler, so you might strike out, man. You might get home and pour it and be like, well, son of a bitch.
I mean, I'm going to drink it, but it's not as good as I
But
was
no,
hoping.
we got home, we opened this thing up, and we were like, son of a bitch, we should have bought another bottle.
All right,
Uh-oh.
that's what I needed. I needed level set. Take a smell and
Okay.
sniff of that, and then go that
A
21.
baseline?
Yeah, you can baseline. That is a good scotch. I
Cannonball coming.
needed it.
Cannonball.
I needed something good to kind of keep me off versus the Wolfburn and everything else. That's a good one. All right.
Where we at?
I'm gonna declare the Longrow the winner.
All right.
Longrow's going down tonight.
All
I'll
right.
tell you what, man. That Glenfiddich 18 is just good scotch, too.
It is
though.
good.
It's
Delicious. I love it.
Right.
It's a great glass.
Ah,
But it does really kind of. What I wanted to do is really pull out those sherry and the cask strength from that.
see,
Yeah.
right off the bat, now you get a real deep coffee flavor.
Yes.
It's dark. It's much
It
darker.
really changes the palate now
And,
because I got a
I didn't even
better-
taste
Where's that
it.
18?
It's right here. I mean, the nose is like a almost a burnt coffee sherry, you know? Wow, is that deep and dark and just...
Really helps put perspective on the 21. That is a good scotch.
Oh, yeah, it's a good
You
scotch.
just need to kind of put it in perspective, right? And maybe that's my problem. I need something to warm up with, the right warm-up juice.
Man, that changes the nose quite a bit.
It does.
yeah, like night
It
and
really
day.
makes you go, wow, this is deeper than you thought it was.
To me, I love the fact that there's just a lot in it. It's chewable. It's one of those scotches that you're gonna pour and you want to chew on it. It lasts a while. It's gonna keep you thinking, what else is in there? What else can I find out of it?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good
But
scotch.
that's the thing. I really think that it just needs to sit for a long time to open up and really. And that was the thing. I wasn't saying that it was bad. I was saying it was closed off.
Right. So we're gonna talk about letting it sit. So this week my wife was out of town. She was in Texas for work.
Oh.
And she texted me. They went out to dinner after their big meeting, and she texted me a picture of the Scotch menu that is at this restaurant, a steakhouse in Texas that they're at. And I look at it, and I'm like, holy smokes. There's a couple scotches on there that are $400 a glass. One is $180 a glass. It's a Dalmore 1974. And I'm like, wow. And my wife loves the King Alexander. She's not a Scotch girl, but she loves that glass, right? Well, she says, I'm getting it. And I'm like, whoa. hey, slow your roll, babe.
You mean you're getting it from me?
Right. And she's like, no, seriously, I'm getting it. We haven't met our minimum. Our table has a minimum because they had a special room. And she's like, we haven't met the minimum. And our company's not paying. The other company is, so we have to make the minimum. They just ordered it for me. And I'm like, well, you better let that glass sit for a long time before you touch it.
Wait till everybody else leaves.
I'm like, I can't believe it. And so she gets on my case. She goes, why can't I post a picture of this on the Scotch for Dummies Facebook page? And I was like, does Drew's get locked down like Fort Knox, I guess? I don't know. She's like, how else am I supposed to taunt the dummies? And I'm like, I'm glad it's locked down. That's not cool.
That isn't cool. Good on you, but don't rub it in.
I don't feel bad about it. She should enjoy that glass.
She did. She said it was absolutely exquisite.
I'll tell you what. Your wife is one of the few people that really...
She does.
She has expensive taste. You're going to have to get a second job.
Yeah.
But
the
ones that she likes, she really enjoys.
Right. And I went and read tasting notes on it on Master's Malt, and it sounds like a very good glass. I think it's 30 or 32-year-old Scotch in it, but
and technically, I think you can post something and just tag us, and it will go on our page.
Right.
I think.
Right.
But anyway.
See, Tom knows what's up, man. He knows I'm making room for new bottles. You're damn right. That's what's
Tom
going
knows
on.
this too damn well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got our whole bar.
So Tom, when are you coming down here? I've gone up there twice now, and next week will be a third time. When are you coming down here to hang with us? Right?
So
Sing
Eric Dollar, you
up.
say love Vine and Table. Are you where are you located? Are you hitting Vine and Table on a regular basis? Because we definitely need
They're
to cross
online,
paths.
right? You can buy our stuff online.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got all kinds of stuff going on. If you're going to be at the Whiskey Expo, I guess we're going to be there again.
Yep.
Yeah, we definitely need to talk that through and figure out what we're doing with that. So we do have some things on the books and coming up. I mean, we're talking to a couple of other folks. I've reached out to Ben. We still have to do this revisitation of the new Juras that we opened up for everybody last week. And then, come June, which we're mid-April now. Come June, we're going to have Amanda back on to talk all things Highland Park, which I am just flat out geeked about.
And in 2 weeks, we're going to have crawfish boil.
Oh yeah! So you guys have to tune in for the annual Lacebark.
Are we doing a live for that one? We have to, right?
Yeah.
We did last year, I think.
So we do an annual crawfish boil where Sean orders some live mud bugs from Louisiana, and we boil them in the backyard and
We
throw
take
some
care of
bean
business.
bags, and he gets some
good
shrimp and some crab, and we just have a big old mess in the backyard. Master of Malt is no longer shipping to the USA, but can still get shipping from the Whiskey Exchange.
Wow.
That's wild. So we did skip that top, that section of our show. We didn't, since we don't have an agenda, but Scotch in the news. Tom, you just brought something up that kind of sucks. That puts a hurting on it because they actually got a really good selection. I mean,
somebody else will fill in the gap.
Yeah, that's
true.
true.
That's,
it'll happen.
Maybe it'll be us.
One of the things I saw though in the news was Diageo has made a commitment to pour, what was it, 150 million pounds? Is that what the number was? Into the Scotch whiskey experience in Scotland. Not the experience that we went to. They're just using that phrase. they're going to open up more visitor centers.
Well, you know what they're doing?
They're doing a whole one with Johnny Walker
In Edinburgh. Yeah.
Right.
And then they're doing their four main scotches that go into Johnny Walker are all getting new
visitor centers. And basically what they're going to do is they're taking what they did with the Guinness Storehouse, which has become the number one tourist attraction in Dublin. And they're just going to rinse and repeat in Edinburgh.
Better.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to follow the same pattern.
You know what? I'm a big fan of that whole thing because I like... People want to know. You know, they want to go visit that stuff. It's like making a pilgrimage.
I've been to the Guinness Storehouse twice. It's a great place to hang out. I mean, it's a great place to walk through. It's really
Why wouldn't you want to?
Hell yeah. And at the end of the tour, you're upstairs and you got this 365 view of Dublin and a freaking...
It's awesome.
And
I
a
did
Guinness
not like...
poured right there where it was made.
I was telling you the other day, I didn't really like Guinness until then. And now I love Guinness.
I know.
I really like it. It's serious. It's just the best beer I've ever had. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so much different there than it is anywhere else.
I'm good for one or two.
Telex says it's monologue time.
The wheels have not come off yet.
Come on,
they're starting to get a little
on
loose, but come on.
Richie's a King Alexander guy. You know what? As a 40 ABV, I've never mentioned that. I've never talked directly to that, but you're right. Being a 40 ABV bottle, I really have to tip my hat to him that I like it. That it's able to carry the flavor profile.
You know what the deal is, though? They have depth of flavor because of all the different caskings that they're using in it.
See, Eric lives in Beech Grove, works in Carmel.
Who? What?
Well, come on over, dude. You're like 15 minutes, 20 minutes drive,
you should
man.
be a guest on our
on this
show.
side of the camera.
You can Uber this. What's wrong with you?
You would probably want to Uber this.
Yeah, you're definitely. We'll pay to Uber you home because I'm not going to be
Beech Grove is not that
responsible.
far.
Yeah, we go to Beech Grove for every now and again to do some duck pin bowling, ain't it?
Yeah. Yep.
Do whatever,
That's
right?
some stupid stuff.
So Jason Henry asked a question. Any thoughts on a good single grain to try?
A single grain.
What was the one that they were talking about Vine and Table the other day when we were up there? You know the one I'm talking about?
I'd have to look at my notes. I don't have my notes.
Teeling single grain. That's what Eric's
it's not a
saying.
single grain, but...
Eric Waite is saying Teeling.
Actually, yeah, you're right. Oh no, Sexton is a single malt. I thought that was a single grain.
I don't really have an answer for it.
I don't have an answer for him either. Honestly, I got to lean on people. Here you go, Eric Waite. Teeling, lean on the crowd. Somebody else step up and answer that question. I'm interested. Are you going to crack open the Long Grow Malbec, Eric? Oh, that's it, Eric. We already did that. Didn't we? Isn't that what you brought home?
I don't know.
Oh, you brought the red.
Malbec.
You brought the red. That's right.
And Travis, that is not my KBS back there. That's actually... Mike brought that over for all of us to try, and we just haven't tried it yet.
Where's that?
Who's asking for that?
Travis.
People, how do you eye that? How did you see that?
I don't know. It was even turned like half sideways. Makes me nervous.
I'm going to save my Glengoyne for later. But let's see what's going on with this. So I put the little Cadenhead's bottle hanger on that because that's where that bottle was purchased.
I'm working two glasses at the same time right
So
now.
am I.
It's
I remember that trip into that store. You remember that?
I feel like it was yesterday.
I gotta tell you, I gotta tip my hat to Roy. I had never even heard of Cadenhead's. Didn't know what Cadenhead's was, and he was just giving us this one solid day of a tour in Edinburgh when it comes to Scotch. Said we had to go in here, and we walked in.
We went to buy some whiskey. He's like, no. You guys mind going for a walk? We're like, yeah.
Let's do this. And when we walked in, I'm not kidding. The guy standing behind, they have just a little bitty table, like 2 foot by 1 foot, where they're gonna pour samples if you want to try them. And there's a young guy standing behind it, and he literally looks up at the door and sees. He's like, "I just got done watching one of your videos."
Seriously.
And I was like,
nuts.
"Well, that's
We just got done walking to your store."
I know. And so we videotaped us walking in, and
we posted it. I think on this review or one of the reviews, we this video of us walking in.
it was just awesome. I bought. This is where you got this.
Yeah. So we were trying to figure out what the hell. It was confusing because they were having all these casks you can pour, and then the menu system for all this stuff. We're like, and then I don't even know how we got this. Somehow we got this as a sample or something.
One of the guys poured a sample for us, and you literally took a sample and you're like, that's going home with me.
Yeah.
Just like, and that's going home.
2 minutes, I'm like, it's going home, bottled up. And then you got the,
Yeah, I left you the fat pour.
what did you get? You got the...
I picked up the SMWS back at
That's right.
at the
Yep.
Man down.
yeah.
Sorry, Andrew.
Tonight we're killing people.
Long Row is just Springbank just does.
That's a
good
great
shit.
bottle. I got to take that bottle home.
Yeah,
He deserves to be.
Yeah, that one you brought that. You carried that one over the pond.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about right there.
So Tom wants to know
man.
if we haven't. Has even Mike tried his poor man's Pappy Winkle mix yet?
What's that?
No, he's still letting it sit. So I think it's got
2 months.
It's got probably another few weeks at
Okay.
least. Yeah, but we're getting there. So we're gonna try that soon enough. Yeah, I think Mike is still trying to figure out what his format is going to be for his videos. He's really putting a lot of thought into it. So, but I told him not to think about it too much. You just got to kind of do it.
Uber pours, Sean pours.
That's right. As a matter of fact, when we pre-poured the Glengoyne, I got the bottle out and everything, and I looked at it all, and I kind of pushed it over to Sean. I'm like, "You gonna pour those?" He's like, "Why am I pouring?" And I'm like, "Because
you're good for pouring.
Because I want you to pour."
I mean, if you're not going to yell at me, I'm going to hit it. Molly, what are you doing?
So hey, Telex, you got things figured out? Did you get your PC
Did
issues?
he spill some whiskey?
Yeah,
on his computer?
you're wasting good whiskey on a keyboard on a laptop. What are you doing?
That was kind of sad.
Hope you got things figured out. I mean, he actually, he made it work. He patched things together. He MacGyvered it, put some duct tape and bubble gum together and made it work. But
And it's all good.
look at that dog. She's sitting there all pretty. She wants some
She
pretzels.
wants some peanut butter. Pretzels.
We don't have any. She's going to be a sad dog. How you feel about chips and salsa?
Hey, I brought a whole
That's
can.
Molly Cam.
Molly Cam.
It ain't hooked
Yeah,
up
it ain't hooked
tonight.
up tonight.
She's got her tail wagging though. She's all about it. She just got a bath
What we
and
need to
everything.
do is put like a little bench back here and just have her sit.
She would too. If you're feeding her pretzels, she's not moving.
I believe you're right, Jason Henry. Teeling is an Irish, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
Tealing's not bad.
Ah, man, I
You
can't
took
get my
some of
nose
that.
out of that.
So the long row, my first smell,
That's a big, bold glass.
it is bold, but I think it definitely has tamed a little bit
Yep.
sitting in the bottle.
It has.
Because
Well, that's why I used that bottle on my live with Mike. Because we had a question about how long whiskey lasts. And, I mean, this is still good. I'm enjoying every sip of this, but it's lost some of the
46
flavor
ABV.
profile that it...
Hey,
That it
Scott,
had.
thank you.
Oh, man.
Thanks,
Thank
David.
you,
Buddy.
sir.
It doesn't carry the punch it did. It doesn't have the weight, the initial punch on the palate. But it is such a unique nose and palate to me.
Yeah.
It is definitely. I'm honestly, when I smell that, I taste that. I think Campbelltown. I know it's that
it does.
region.
It's exactly what that
it's
is.
that region. It's coming from what we call the pennies.
Almost to the point where if you would have poured it, this would be kind of a cool thing to do. When we need to do this is a blind tasting of unique regions, something that's Campbelltown, stuff that not just Isla's and stuff.
Orkney.
Yeah,
To me,
Orkneys.
the Campbelltowns are a little unique because they almost have like an oily,
What is that?
viscous
I don't
quality.
know.
Almost a fish aftertaste too, a little bit like a sea salty. Oily,
Not a briny like you would some of the
not
islands.
Talisker,
You know,
no.
but
But it's definitely has a
It's
taste
got a
to
very unique profile all its own, which is kind of what you want to see.
Yeah,
right?
it's,
yeah,
you can taste the
you know,
wood.
I'm gonna look something up here.
What are you looking up?
Talk amongst yourselves.
Don't
Indeed.
promote yourself.
So
Talk amongst yourselves.
I will say that it's lost just a hint. It's not quite as pungent as I remember it, but it's still got just.
Dude,
What are you
Alex,
doing,
what
man?
are you doing?
Cheers to you,
Thanks.
sir.
Wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Thanks, Alex.
To the Whiskey Tech. Thank you.
Hey, I just want you to know I've updated Nightbot. He's a little calmer.
He's smacked him around.
He smacked him around a little bit, and so I'm getting better at it. But
so what was up?
He should be promoting you here very shortly.
What was Nightbot? What was the deal?
He just kind of went off the handle.
It started spamming. I don't know why. I had timers set up to do certain things, and it just started spamming.
Too many timers.
Too many.
Got over it, you know.
It's a work in progress.
And no, Dave, I can't open the door.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You're like, what are you doing?
What are you doing, Dave?
But seriously, thank you, Telex. Very nice of you, sir.
Yeah. I gotta reach out to Telex.
So the Whiskey Thief.
Hey,
buddy, nice for you to join. I prefer the Glen Scotia over the Springbank. 15-year is amazing. All right.
Which
the Glen Scotia.
We've not touched the Scotia yet. We have not. We've not done a Scotia, and I thought about it, and I talked about it. And I'm like, you know what? Sooner or later we're gonna have to get in because I've heard a lot of good things.
And we gotta do. I think it was KB last week when he took over the stream boss. He mentioned in his super chat. I think was it Bunnahaven 18 or Bruichladdich 18 or something. I need to look back and see what it was.
One of the two.
We need to buy one of those two to get that going for him.
All right.
How's the stream boss going? Do we got anybody?
KB is still owning it, but he got
KB
zapped a
is
couple times.
he took a little hit, but he still owns
He still
it.
got it. Yeah.
It's all right, man.
It's all good in the hood.
Yeah, but we'll definitely get in a Scotia Whiskey Thief. I think that's something that we this is a lot of stuff. So we've been kind of let's put it out there. We've been on a journey for a while. Our whole thing is kind of what you're buying in bars and not bars and liquor stores, etc. And we want to kind of get the normal scotches. But we've been on a little journey lately, having some pretty good scotches.
Yeah, and not saying I'm going to appreciate it and don't enjoy it. I absolutely love the fact that we've been able to get into some bottles, guys, that we honestly couldn't get into otherwise. And all thanks to our subscribers, to you guys. But at the same token, we don't want to get away from what started this.
That's right.
What started, and actually we were reminded. You know, we had a very faithful and loyal subscriber that made a comment that said, you guys are kind of already outside of my capabilities. You know what I can afford, my price range, and that kind of hurt. That kind of hit us and gut checked us a little bit. And you know what? That we need to refocus and get back into. Well, when you're standing in the liquor store or you're at the bar and you're looking at that menu and you're like, what do I want to get? Hopefully you relate to one of us. I mean, maybe some of us are a little bit closer than others, but we're all unique in a way that hopefully you can relate to. That's what I want to get. I mean, don't get me wrong.
We're still going to drink the nice stuff too. Don't worry. I mean, this Black Art's delicious, and I'm so glad it's on this bar.
You know who poured a glass of that?
Mike. I'm going to knock him upside.
This guy is evolving into a Scotch guy. Huh?
He doesn't want to admit it.
He's turning into a Scotch.
He's got a bunch of bourbons at home. I don't think his wife's going to let him just switch midstream.
Hey now, don't tell her. She doesn't need to know.
He's going to have to finish up some of that stuff, so he's going to have to get going on this bourbon channel that he wants to fire up. But he's turning into a Scotch head.
So the Compass Box Muse, that's one we've been trying to get too. We haven't found it yet. I would like to get my hands on that one and try it.
Yeah, Compass Box is just such an interesting story on what they're doing, And you heck, the last one, the Lost Blend, you weren't really turned on by that.
No, it wasn't that great.
No. And I guess, you got to accept that. There's going to be some that are winners and some that are losers with you, right? And I'm not saying losers, but just don't hit your spot.
Yeah.
Right.
Not your flavor.
But I love what they're doing. That's what is really intriguing about them. They're doing a good.
They're very open.
Yeah, that's right.
About what they've got going on.
Everyone, perfect. You just brought it up, but I was going to ask about this Glen Scotia. So Glen Scotia, very much like Springbank. Obviously, it's down there. They're within a stone's throw. They're not distilled at the same distillery, though, right?
Yeah, tell us about that.
So,
what do you guys know about
Long
that?
Row and Springbank are actually distilled at the same distillery, right? And I want to say there's one more, is there not?
I think there's three.
Is it Glengoyne? No.
There's another one.
I thought there was
three.
Yeah, I did too.
But I've had a couple glasses already.
Yeah, I'm starting to get.
So, I mean, let's talk about it. So, Glen Scotia is not made. Dude, Telex, that no name is delicious. Anyway, the Glen Scotia is not produced. It's its own freestanding distillery. It's not produced at Springbank, right? Because Long Row is. No name is fantastic indeed.
Oh, the Long Row Red.
Hmm.
That's a good bottle. We should get another bottle.
Did we not review that one?
Red? No, I think we just killed it.
That's sad. If that's true, that's
good.
sad. That was a good bottle. What was the age on that?
I think it's 11.
I don't know, it was 13.
The one on
There you go, Hazelburn. Thank you,
I
Kelly.
knew there was a third one. Thank you.
Right. Thank you.
Gosh, I knew it was not...
Right, but so Glen Scotia's, I want to try it because it's a completely, I'm not saying Longrow isn't different than Springbank and Hazelburn, but Glen Scotia's a completely different facility. Different malt master, different guy running the show, different ingredients, everything's different. I want to see what they produce, what they have to offer. It'd be interesting to see how that goes. But you know what?
We haven't had Hazelburn either yet.
No, we haven't had a Hazelburn. I had no idea what that has to say.
That's the beauty about what we're doing is it's funny because we get friends, right, close friends that say, hey, I want to get you a bottle, but I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to get you? And they were like, yeah, especially around, and that's kind of going back to our point of liquor stores, what the majority you're going to see.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, when you think about it, there's so much we haven't begun our journey, really. There's so much Scotch.
That's the one up in the northern Shetland.
That's one we want to reach out to. What's their name?
I don't.
There's like 3 people on the island.
Saxavord.
That's it.
Saxavord. There's got to be like 2 people running the whole thing. There's no internet, no phone. You know what I mean?
That's where we're going to retire.
They're in the Arctic Circle, for God's sake.
Retire.
The wives aren't coming, but...
You're right. We haven't scratched the surface. There's a lot left out there. And so,
sit up there and fish and make Scotch.
Maybe we should just move to
Scotland. If that's not heaven, I don't know what is.
I am moving to Scotland.
Right?
I know.
I am. I'm moving there someday.
One of these days.
We got to buy Andrew a distillery.
It's going to be somewhere Pete is and smoke.
I hope he's up for it.
He's going to be burning all kinds of stuff. We'll be... I think Andrew fit right in. He's a frugal guy. A lot of the Scotsmen are frugal people.
Okay, so Eric's saying that each Longrow red is different every year. So and this year it's a Malbec, and that makes sense to me. Thanks, Santa Cruzan.
Thank you, Santa.
Wheelhouse,
Cheers to you,
man.
Sir.
With a Longrow 18 that came from the motherland, we brought it home. We picked that bad boy up. God, that was a good trip.
You just gotta keep rubbing it in, don't you?
Sean, I swear to God, I'm gonna own a freaking house in Scotland, and you're gonna just come and you'll have a key, dude.
Dude, that would be amazing.
That's all there is to
it. Yeah, because I'm gonna live there.
That's true. That's it. That's true.
Bunk beds.
Whatever, dude. Whatever it takes, man. We'll be burning peat in the fireplace to keep that shit warm. I'm not lying.
Your wife is probably the only one that would let us do that.
Yep. It's gonna happen.
All right, wheels
it's gonna be tight.
Off yet.
They're coming off. All right, guys, we've got 8 minutes left. So we always do an hour, and we're pretty good about doing an hour.
Yeah,
so.
and Telex is spun up. He's ready to rock and roll. Hey, by the way, Telex, why don't you throw a little hit on there on what you're doing tonight?
Put a little bit of graphic up for you right there.
Yeah.
The after show with Telex, the Whiskey Tech.
Look at his eyes.
What are you doing tonight, buddy? Talk to me, Teddy Bear.
He's doing something fun. We do have some interesting bottles coming up, and as opposed to wanted to bring in the fact that we were talking about under 60, I want to say. 60 and under, is that approachable to you guys? Do you think that's an approachable bottle? You go into a liquor store, what do you expect to spend on one bottle? And obviously that's going to be ranged all over the place, right? But we had a couple of Glenmorangies, right? So a couple of Wolfburns still to come up.
Mm-hmm. We got that Johnny Walker.
Yeah, that Johnny Walker Green Island that you picked up on vacation.
Which is actually pretty tasty. I mean,
so I don't know how much. Yeah, I don't know how much this Loch Gorham was, but if it's not in that under 60,
it's probably not.
It's probably not. But I gotta say, it's something you probably need to consider from what I've heard.
So Bob wants to know. He wants you to hit that mark, that Glengoyne one more time, and get your final opinion.
All right. This is Tom?
No, this is Bob.
Bob, this is the Glengoyne 21, and I've just been sipping on that Longrow, which I'm saving because I'm going to shed a tear when that's gone.
Right. Yep.
But
best Scotch to introduce my bourbon-only friend to.
What?
Okay, so my honest last take on this Glengoyne.
Let's talk about this first, and we'll get to that one.
I really think that just nosing and tasting that Glenfiddich 18, which I love, it's a great Scotch, really brought out what this glass could do, what it can do, what's really in there. I still get it now, even after 10, 15 minutes of drinking that long grow, and that's what I really love about the nose of it. It's honestly it's almost like you strain sherry wine through burnt coffee filters or something.
This is just now starting to open.
I think you're right. I got butter now.
And it's been sitting for an hour.
I got butter, salted butter.
Yeah, no, I smelled butter on the nose as soon as I picked the glass up. It's still got that brown sugar and cinnamon thing going on.
Totally got the brown sugar right now.
Yeah. I'll definitely admit that it's it's hard because people want to say pour it, leave it let it sit there for a long time. This is true to that statement, I think, of letting it sit and open up. It really needed to sit there for 30 minutes.
And with that being said, that's something I suggest that you guys do that with your Scotch. Try it. Let certain things sit a little bit longer, because you might find that, oh my God, this one took 45 minutes to open up. But boy, golly, when it did, it was just absolutely phenomenal.
I think the bigger Scotches
you use your decanters. You pour yourself out a couple glasses and let it sit in the decanter for an hour, and then pour it in your glass and go. I mean, I don't know. I think it's a great Scotch. I really do. Now, Cato, he's not on tonight, but he had made a comment after this posted that he said he's been picking this bottle up for $1.35. He's been snatching it up. And I think for $135, it's a freaking killer steal. It's that good. It's delicious. For $1.70, it's a better value than the $2.60 for the 25. Although I like the 25 better.
25 is a little more complex.
This is absolutely a delicious Scotch. I mean, it's great.
It's on the sherry radar for sure.
Yeah.
But to me, it's not a sherry bomb. It's not. It doesn't punch me. To me, I get more of a burnt coffee, brown sugar. Just
no.
I don't know.
Yeah, decant might help a lot. Open up quicker. I think you're right. But who knows? But we've got a few more questions. Where that? So Bob asked, I think he's right. Great show to do some reviews of price ranges. What do we think? Under 50, under 60, under 100, under 200, etc.
But you know what we run into with that?
It's hard though.
Well, the prices we get here are completely different than the prices people get in other places.
We almost need a different way of looking at that.
I could do that.
I love the concept of that, but
I could push it to a 3.5.
But I'm always shocked when we get people commenting on here or other sites that we go to that are like, oh, you pay $150 for that. I can get it for $85, and it's like, wow, why don't I live there?
maybe something unique.
Hey, Rob.
Like
how you doing, buddy?
What's up, buddy? Maybe what we can do is have something unique. Like maybe one of you guys, right? One of our subscribers out there, why don't you go to a bar, or not a bar, go to a liquor store and film yourself going in and say, review this one, and then we pick it out and the price, and we look at the price and compare it. I mean, just throwing out some ideas out there, but it's something to get us kind of spontaneous.
Or email us, this is what's available on your shelf. You know what I mean? I went into my local liquor store that I hit all the time, and this was the shelf that I looked at.
This is something I've not had before. What do you think? And you guys haven't reviewed it.
Right.
Or,
I mean,
I don't know.
Use us as dummies. Let us friggin' be the guinea pig and grab a bottle and pick it up, and that's what.
Maybe what we can do is just pick two bottles that are comparably priced for us, which should be comparably priced for everybody.
Yeah, I mean,
and just do a blind head-to-head.
Well, and one thing we haven't done for a while too is some comparisons.
Yeah, and we do have some of those lined up. Honestly, we've got a couple comparisons. Heck, I've got a Lagavulin 8, 12, 16 lined up that we just haven't had time to shoot. We haven't had time to do it. I mean, and I say that because when someone sends us a sample or a bottle, we try to get that pushed up the priority because we that somebody sent us something. We try to move that up, and so we've got bottles that we bought in the liquor store that are in the lineup. We just haven't had the time to do it.
Got a couple.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've got stuff that we've been given. We've got stuff that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get around to them, but it was a good show tonight. Obviously we missed Andrew, and I'm sure he's going to be kicking himself for
especially with long row
not getting this long row 18. But I'm thankful I got it, and What else we got going
We'll make
on?
it up.
Also, we got you guys will be live next week without me.
Yep.
I'll be in Chicago all week.
Yep. Let's talk about that.
Am I running that stream?
Somebody's doing it because it's not going to be me.
You're gonna get sub-quality video and
no audio, a little sign language.
All right. It's just gonna be silent video of us getting drunk. At the
No, we'll
worst
get that
things.
figured out. So you're out, but
I'm out.
I think Andrew's in.
Andrew's
so
in.
and maybe Mike will be around. But we do have some guests that we're trying to get lined up. We haven't clicked yet. We got some other interesting things going on. We've got a couple of events that we're going to be attending, and we might be doing some lives from those. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to, depending on, if it's allowed.
Who wants to be involved
But
with it.
we've been invited to a few things that we're anxious to kind of talk to you guys about in the future. What else we got going on, guys? Aside from that, we've got some reviews queued up that we've got to get to. Be on the lookout for that. Telex, I don't know.
It's all you, man.
It's your turn, bro.
We gotta feed this dog some pretzels before she dies.
It is
Hey,
time.
everybody. Wheelhouse, Glengoyne 21.
Thanks for hanging with us tonight.
I think it's a great
Good
class.
to see you guys. Appreciate
Cheers,
it.
everybody. Check Telex out. See you,
Telex is
Rob.
out.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see ya.